Hey, what's good everyone? In today's session, as you see in the title, I hit runner for quads. Alright, let's get it.
I belong to you. I belong to you. Do just what you want.
Today, I go play the 1-2 no limit game at the final table. I buy in for the max $400. I get my chips and head to the table. Starting off the session, there's a $10 straddle under the gun. One player calls, and when action's on me, I look down at King Queen offsuit and raise it to $32. Only under the gun calls, and we go heads up to a flop. The flop is deuce 4-8 with 2 diamonds, and this board doesn't hit my range at all, but I lead out for $25, just trying to rep an overpair. Under the gun quickly folds, and we take down our first pot of the night. A whole orbit goes around, and I look down at 5-7 of spades under the gun and raise it to $8. 5 players call, and we go 6 ways to a flop. The flop's a pretty good one. 3-5-5 with 2 hearts, and I flop trip 5s. Okay. Action checks to me, and I bet real small. $10. Just trying to build the pot. 3 players call, and we go 4 ways to a turn. The turn is the ace of spades, which I actually think is a good card for me. Maybe someone had the ace of hearts and was just chasing their flush draw and now hit top pair. It does bring in a straight draw though if someone had deuce 4. When action's on me, I decide to check and see what my opponents do. Surprisingly, action checks all around. The river is the 7 of diamonds, now giving me a full house. I get a little sneaky here and check. I want to give my opponents a chance to bluff at it in case they miss their flush draw. The button bets $30 and then I raise it to $120. This raise looks sus because I checked the turn and river, so it might look like I missed my flush draw. Everyone else folds, and the button doesn't think too long about it before making the call. I show my cards and we're good, and we take down the pot. We started to lose some players and play short-handed. I straddle $5 on the button, 2 players limp call, and I look down at 10 deuce of spades. Hey, the Doyle Brunson baby. Definitely can't lose this hand now. We go 3 ways to a flop, which is queen 7-4 with 2 spades, and I flop a flush draw. The middle position leads out for $10, and I just make the call along with the cutoff. The turn is the 4 of clubs, now pairing the board. The middle position again leads out for $10. Anytime a player bets the same exact betting size, especially this small, I always think they are weak. The cutoff folds, and since I straddled and just checked, I could have anything here really. So when action's on me, I raise it to $40, trying to rep a 4 in my hand, in case I miss my flush on the river. He makes the call, and we go heads up to river. The river is the jack of diamonds, and I miss my flush draw. He checks it over me, and I can't win with 10 high, so I bet $50. I don't need to bet big here. With this sizing, I'm trying to make it look like I'm trying to get some value with trip 4s. He quickly folds. Like I said before, I can't lose this hand. This one was for you, legend. Rest in peace, Doyle. Here, I look down at ace queen offsuit and raise it to $8. 5 players call, and we go 6 ways to a flop. The flop is jack ace 3 all offsuit, and I flop top pair. Action checks to me, and I bet $16. 3 players call, and we go 4 ways to a turn. The turn is the queen of spades, and I now have top 2 pair. It does bring a straight though if someone had king 10. Action again checks to me, and I size up to $50. Only 1 player calls, and we go heads up to a river. The river is one of the worst cards you can ask for, the 10 of diamonds, and now any king beats me. I check, and my opponent bets out $200. I'm trying to think what kind of king X hands he can have here. If he had ace king, he would have raised me pre-flop. I don't think king jack or king queen is calling my $50 turn bet. Maybe he has king 10 and turned to straight, and maybe the river card actually might save me money. I've played with this player before, and he's definitely on the tighter side, and I've never seen him get out of line. So I give him some respect and fold top 2 pair. I know. How do I ever fold top 2 here? Comment down below and let me know if you would have made this call. The very next hand, and I look down at queen 10 offsuit. I didn't start recording till right before the flop, but I raised it to $8 and only 2 player makes the call, and we go 3 ways to a flop. The flop is 10 deuce 9, and I flop top pair. The big blind leads out for $10. Under the gun just flat calls, and then I raise it to 30. I'm trying to charge any flush draws, maybe even straight draws. The big blind calls, and then under the gun goes all in for $94. When action's on me, I look over the big blind stack, and it looks like he has about $200. So I think about reshoving all in here to isolate under the gun. I'm putting under the gun on a flush draw. I end up just making the call, and the big blind folds. Thank goodness. I did not want to see a shove all in by the big blind. We go heads up to a run out. The turn is the 5 of diamonds. Come on, no spade, and I think we're good. And the river is the ace of diamonds. Damn, I hope he doesn't have the ace high flush draw. I would rather lose to a flush than him rivering ace. Under the gun shows queen deuce of spades for bottom pair and a flush draw. We show our cards and we're good, and we stack them. Just a couple hands later, a bunch of players limp in for $2, and the small blind didn't raise it to $11. I look down at 9-10 offsuit and raise it to 42. If I just flat called 11, pretty sure everyone's gonna call, and I don't wanna go multi-ways. I wanna just isolate the small blind, maybe even just take down the pot right here. 2 players call, and we go 3 ways to a flop. I'm not sure what seat 9 has. He limps in for $2 and then calls my $42. Like what? The flop is queen 7 deuce all offsuit and action checks to me. I could c-bet here, trying to represent a hand like ace queen or maybe even an overpair, but I decide to check. Action checks through and the turn pairs the board with another 7. Action checks to me and it doesn't seem like this hit my opponents. I don't need to bet big here, it might look a little bit bluffy. So I bet $30 and they both quickly fold. Alright, got this little bluff through. Yay! In this one, the player to my right raised it to $10, and I looked down at king queen offsuit and 3-bet it to 25. 3 players call, and we go 4 ways to a flop. The flop is deuce 10 deuce with 2 spades. Action checks to me, and I decide to check. This board doesn't hit my range at all. Action checks through, and the turn is the queen of diamonds, now giving me 2 pair. Action again checks to me, and I bet $30, and only 1 player makes the call. The river is a blank, the 5 of hearts. The small blind then goes all in for $58. I tank for a minute. Did this player miss their flush draw? Man, I wish this player had more money so it could be an easier fold for me. But it's so cheap and such a good price. You even hear me do a little table talk and I tell my opponent,
Hey, you got pocket 10s. I think you flopped it.
I also tell her, only because you watched the vlog, I'll donate. And I also tell her, I'm never good here. So here you go. Here's $58. You better be subscribed. I make the call and my opponent says, you're correct, and shows pocket 10s. Yup, I knew it, and I still couldn't fold. Why do I always do this? I was just thinking through the process of how this hand went. She limp called my 3-bet pre-flop, and then of course when you flop the full house, being first one to act, pocket 10s would check here. And then just flat calling my turn bet, and then when it comes to the river, going all in. So her story added up, and it did feel like pocket 10s. But man, I just hate folding. So for you subscribers, if you ever play with me and you're subscribed, be ready because I'm gonna donate to you. So subscribe. Help me out guys. I'm really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and get monetized. Thank you, thank you. Moving on. I shot a $5 on the gun. 4 players limp call, and then I look down at 10 jack offsuit and raise it to $25. 2 players call, and we go 3 ways to a flop. The flop is 9 queen 9 with 2 diamonds, and I flop an up and down straight draw. The board is paired, but I'm not too worried about that, unless someone had queen 9. Pocket queens would have raised me pre-flop. First action's on me, and I bet about half the pot, $40. Trying to represent overpair, maybe even ace queen. Both players quickly fold. I asked the dealer if I could see the turn card, which is the 8 of spades. Damn, I wish someone would have called me, but oh wells, and I'll definitely still take it. Last interesting hand of the night. Just about everyone limps in for $2, and I look down at 7-8 of spades in the small blind and raise to the 9. 4 players call, and we go 5 ways to a flop. The flop's a pretty good one. Deuce 7-5 with 2 spades, and I flop top pair along with a flush draw. I lead out for a small bet, $10. One player calls, and then the cutoff raises it to $35. Action's on me, and I'm not going anywhere. Only I make the call, and we go heads up to a turn. The turn is a 7 diamonds, now give me 3 of a kind. I check, and he bets out $35 again. To me, this looks really weak. When people bet the same amount, I always think they are weak. I think he has a pair of 5s, maybe pocket 6s, or 3-4 or 6-8 for a straight draw. Remember, I only raised it $9 pre-flop and he limp called, so there's only a few hands I could put him on. I just call and we go heads up to a river. The river is the last 7 of the deck, now give me quad 7s. Now, this is where I think I got way too greedy and made a mistake. I rip it all in and had my opponent cover. He had about $400 behind, and I was just trying to target a 5 or pocket 6s for a full house, and also make it look like I missed my flush draw. In this situation, it was also player dependent, because this player is on the tighter side, and I thought for sure it was going to get checked through, and I definitely didn't want that to happen. But looking back, I think the better play was to check it, and give my opponent a chance to bluff at it if he did miss a straight draw or a flush draw. I got way too excited when I saw the last 7, and I was just trying to get max value and paid with my quads. Comment down below how you would play the river in my position with a tighter player. But he ends up making the fold. But just like that, I rack up my chips and call it a night with quads. Alright, just got done with the session. Pretty solid session. I thought I played pretty good for the most part. Other than the pocket 10s where I called out my opponent's hand and still made the call. Man, that's something I'm still working on. When I know I'm beat, but still make the call. I gotta make that lay down, but I was in for the game for 400 and out for 810, so came up 410. So thanks for watching and see you on the river.